Watering your lawn in the summertime. This is what we're dealing with, and a lot of people are dealing with right now. Extremely high temperatures, above 90, 90, 95, 98 degrees. Very little rain. We run into these periods where we don't get a drop of rain for 10 days straight. Now, I'm not talking about a drought. I'm not talking about areas that haven't seen rain for weeks and weeks. I'm talking about times when you get into where there's a period where you'll go for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days without any rain on your lawn, and your lawn is facing temperatures of 93 degrees. So what do you do to survive, make it survive? Well, I'm going to tell you something different than most people tell you to do. So hold on. Hey guys, so if you don't know, we left our house for 6 weeks. We went down to the beach house, we finished the renovation, we had to do all the decorating, we had to install the lawn down there, and I'm going to show you in a minute on my phone. I'll show you my irrigation system down there and what I'm doing down there because we're seeding. But for basically my lawn, all I did, the norm, what people are going to tell you is they're going to tell you always run your sprinklers really long and really deep, get the water down to the roots, and do that once a week or twice a week. I can't do that. I've tried that, trust me, and I'm more leaning towards what golf courses do. And that is, I set my irrigation system to do short cycles every single morning. So at 4 a.m., my big rotors would run for about 7 or 8 minutes. My small pop-up areas would probably run for 3 or 4 minutes, and that's about it. I did that every single day, and I activated rain skip. Now, rain skip, most of your electronic irrigation systems, if you get rain that falls, it'll skip your schedule for a period of 48 hours. So I did activate rain skip. Now let's talk about, everyone's going to say, what's your water bill? What's your water bill? Well, keeping in the month of June, we were not here the entire month of June. So normally my water bill for personal usage would probably be about $70, $80, something like that. My water bill was $160. That's not bad. That really isn't bad because we had some real dry periods during the month of June. I'm running my sprinkler system every single morning. I have it all in the front, all in the back. I have 22 heads to run. That really isn't that bad. It's not a $600 water bill, to keep my lawn alive. That was actually really reasonable for me. I was actually kind of surprised. I was expecting like a $300 water bill, so I was happy with that. But this short cycle, here's the problem. When most contractors build your house, they really don't give a crap about your soil. So we dig up construction debris, rocks, bricks, nails, tools. We dig up all kinds of stuff around our house. That's always a hot spot. When we go into the yard, we'll find areas with piles of gravel that just can't get enough water down deep. Tree roots. I have areas with tree roots that will dry out consistently. There's not enough soil there. So this short cycle really, really saves my lawn in these periods where I have a lot of heat and I don't have rain. I'm going on, okay, it's been 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days. It's been going on. Now I don't have it. You need to try this short cycle, and trust me, it works. Now, a lot of people are going to say, what about fungus? Well, this is one of the first years that I have not had number one, I have not had a single weed on my lawn in the past 8 weeks. Number two, I haven't had a single piece of fungus on my lawn, not one. And why is that? I really think part of that is because we've been treating it with Humichar. Then we've been adding the dirt booster, which is your natural organic material and your good mycorrhizal fungi. Remember, good fungus battles bad fungus. So I just really haven't I'm actually kind of shocked that I haven't had any bits of fungus because all the lawns around me have dollar spot. I really haven't had any issues with any weeds whatsoever. Zero weeds, not one weed in my lawn. The only weeds I'm seeing is under my palm trees. I got a little nutsack. Cut in here real quick, and I'm going to show you something that's kind of cool. And this has to do with the technology and how things really have come along and make your life kind of simple when it comes to watering. So I'm going to pull up. This is my Ratio app. I have 2 houses on one app. So I call this place Shithole. And then I have the beach. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to touch the beach. So I actually have a custom watering because we're doing seeding down there. I have a short cycle seeding. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm going to go to irrigation. I'm going to go to schedules. I'm going to go to my morning schedule, and I'm going to go quick run. And it says that it started. But here's the other cool thing about this. I have blink cameras all around my house down there. So once in a while I get worried that my shallow well pump might lose its prime because it's happened once before. So now what I can do is I can pull up the front camera. Let's go live. I'm going to show you live. And if I zoom in on this, I can actually see the head. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a head there spraying. So I know that my irrigation system is actually working. Now we've seeded down there. Let me close this. We've seeded down there with a mix of zoysia and perennial rye. We put down a little perennial rye because it germinates so quickly. The zoysia is like 11 to 14 days, and I didn't want all the seed to wash away. Let me show you the backyard though, because on the backyard, we did it a week and a half or 2 weeks before the front, and look how good it looks. It's already been cut twice. So I'm going to go in here and get rid of that stupid notification. And there's the back, and you can see that it's pretty green all in there. And it's coming up pretty good there. It's not bad. So I'm happy with that. So what this allows me to do, not only can I go in and water when I'm away from the house, but I can actually monitor. I can see the grass, see how it's doing, check on the sprinkler systems. If there's any issues, I got it. Pretty cool, huh? So that is how I take care of my lawn. Now I did want to mention real quick the gardens. There are 2 rules I use for my gardens. And let me grab the camera and show you. Now, these zinnia gardens here, these zinnia gardens are what I call sort of on the fly flower beds. You can see just how beautiful they are. But all I did was I dug into this hard clay soil, a small trench of about 6 inches. I filled it up with potting soil and a little bit of the dirt booster compost. We planted these, and that's it. So these require a lot more watering than, say, a flower bed. So I have flower beds that have been sort of dug up, cultivated, they have mulch on top. Those don't need as much water. These type of things need water. This type of thing here needs a lot of water. Potted plants. We have a couple potted plants down by the pool. They need water every single day almost, I'm telling you. The sun's hitting those pots and they dry out fast. But I did want to talk real quickly about the raised bed gardens. My raised bed gardens, you'll find, because they're up in the air and the sun hits these boxes a lot, they're going to require usually more water, and you need to stick your hand in the dirt, and I can't stress that enough. Stick your hand in the dirt and feel down about 4 or 5 inches, and you'll be able to tell, is there moisture down there or is it dry? It's good to let your soil go a little bit dry, both on your lawn and in your gardens, not to always have it wet. But one thing that really has helped is pumping in this good mycorrhizal fungi. So this was a huge pile of dirt booster compost, and we've taken that the other day. I did a video on it, and we've put it all in these beds, and I have almost no disease. One subject that I do want to touch on real quick is I want to touch on water pressure. I have a lot of long hoses, and the only way that I can do that is I had my irrigation guys cut into my main irrigation lines and put actual spigots on my system back here. Plus, on the very, very back, I installed one myself. Now, this water comes directly in from the main line in a 1 inch, and it's running like 90, 95 PSI. Most houses are 45 to 55 PSI. So you can go into your house and you can actually adjust. There's a water adjustment in there that if you need to turn up your water pressure a little bit for your hoses, you can. But most of the piping inside of a house is crappy. So right here as an example, this ties directly into my irrigation system, and the pressure is incredible. So I've got that one, I've got one down by the shed, and then this year I have an area of sort of exposed irrigation pipe back here because we use that to drain our irrigation system in the winter. So right before that stops, I went ahead and put another spigot in myself. Behind the knockouts, I cut in. So here is the main irrigation line right here, and I just put a T, came up, put a spigot right there. And I am running, let me go up. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm only running 5/8 inch hose. I always use the 0G gray hoses now. And I'm gonna go up to the end of this hose and I'm gonna show you the water pressure. After 200 feet, going uphill, you always have one of these. You get these at Lowe's or Home Depot, these shut off, but watch. I have a ton of pressure here. If you struggle with watering because of your hose issues and you have an irrigation system, call up your irrigation guy, show him this video, say, hey, can you do this for me out on one of my things? Doc doesn't have any help this weekend. My son and his girlfriend are away for 3 days, and the good witch, it's the 4th of July, I didn't want to bother her. So yesterday I came out here, I cut the entire front and back myself. I actually used my big True Cut to try and save a little walking, and it did an okay job. But let me go back here in the shed, and I'm going to pull out my spike aerator. I know a lot of people ask, that's the, gosh, I'll try and find a link for it. That's the Billy Goat model that I have, and you can switch out. I have small spikes, large spikes, and then core aerators. This time of year, this is when, just do core aeration, because you're not going to be able to find a spike aerator. It's just a pain in the butt for me. I hate picking up all those cores. I never leave my cores just because it makes a mess. It's personal preference. But I can actually go out here and do this myself, and it won't even look like I did anything to the lawn. But this is a great time to do your aeration. It opens up the lawn. You get oxygen, water penetrates it more easily. It's a great time to aerate. And like I said, I have the large spikes on it. And the nice thing about the large spikes is it doesn't cut any grass, it doesn't cut any roots. It spreads the hole open, and the holes will stay there for like 2 weeks as they slowly close back up. But it'll get that water and that air in the soil. All right, so this is the only shady spot in my entire yard, and that's where I'm gonna stand. Let's just review real quick. Number one, you can try the deep cycle method. If it works for you, fine. But if you're finding that you start to have lots of patches that are just burning out, try the everyday short cycle. And remember, if you get a heavy rain, don't water for a couple days. That's a major rain event. That's a major watering event. You can turn off that every day for a while. But when you get into this dry center, these dry cycles, try the everyday. Add carbon, add organic matter, and it's not a bad time for aeration. Hit subscribe. Talk to you later. Doc.